Today's review will be 100% done in car. Why? Because look at it outside. It's pretty well like a blizzard out there, and we're on really snowy roads, a lot of ice, and yeah, not really nice to be outside. So what are we driving today? We're driving a car that really suits these conditions very well. It is the Ford Focus RS. It's a lot of fun, as you can tell. What is the RS? Well, you know the regular Ford Focus, and then you get your high performance version of it, which is the ST, and then you have one real souped up version, which is the RS that we have here. This is a European built Focus. So what's the difference? On the outside, it doesn't look a lot different. Yes, you have a little bit of a more of a body kit. You have a different rear valance, a rear wing, and you have a few touches of some RS badging. But other than that, it doesn't look a lot different. Where the difference is, though, is this RS uses a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder turbo EcoBoost engine, putting out 350 horsepower and the equal amount of torque, 350 foot-pounds as well, which is just crazy. Really think about it. That's from a 4-cylinder engine putting out 350 horsepower. Anyways, that's matched to a 6-speed manual transmission. That's all that comes with the RS. If you don't know how to drive stick, move along, because you're not going to be driving this one. So this RS really is kind of rally inspired. Now on the inside, it's very, very plush for rally standards, that's for sure. Now we're not saying this is a rally car, but if this were, you have the latest Ford Sync system, you have these beautiful Recaro seats, very supportive, and one thing I like about them is that they're fairly wide. If you're a really, really wide person, yeah, you're not going to fit in these very well for sure, but they are very supportive. And of course you have creature comforts like a backup camera, heated seats, and a heated steering wheel, perfect for northern Canadian winters that we have here. So what makes this car so fun to drive? Well, for sure, you have horsepower, but you can't really use a lot of horsepower in the snow. This is where these drive modes that this has really comes in handy. You have a drive mode selector, and you have normal, of course, which you normally use, and then you go into sport. Now once you get into sport and above, that changes the parameter of the engine, gives you a little bit more responsiveness, changes the exhaust note, has this kind of a backfire gurgle. And when you move through, we have sport, we have track use, and once you put in the track use, it's going to turn off the traction control for you. And then of course the mode that most people have heard about in the RS, and that is the drift mode, and that says track use only. We're going to put it on right now just to give you a little sample of what it's like. And that's a nice thing about driving in snow right now. All the roads are covered with snow, and you can really experience what the drift mode does without having to go very fast, which you would normally have to do on pavement. So normally this all-wheel drive system is more of an even front and rear bias system, and normally the car and its computers will try to keep you tracking straight all the time, which is what you want. You want heavy traction, but with drift mode, when you're turning, you just give it a little bit more gas, and you can get that back end out fairly easy, because it turns it more into a rear bias system, as well as turning off the traction control and turning some of those nannies down, really opening it up to make it a real driver's car. It's kind of counterintuitive, really, because if you're sliding, that means you're not going very fast, but it sure is a lot of fun. And it's just really nice, instead of having all that understeer when you're going into the snow here, is that you can actually really steer the car with your throttle. Unfortunately, I haven't had many instances where I could actually drive this on just regular dry pavement with a lot of traction, so I can't really comment a lot on that. Suspension wise, we're in normal mode right now. On the end of the turn stalk, there is a switch, and when you push it, it puts the suspension into a sport suspension. And I would recommend for sure, you're not going to use this probably day to day. This is definitely best suited for track use, or if you're really carving some heavy canyons that you're going to be using that sport mode. It's quite rough, it's quite stiff. So we're going to turn that back off right now. The RS really is a driver's car, and it's for those who are wanting something more pure, all-wheel drive, high horsepower, having a lot of fun. There's nothing wrong with the interior. It's just, I don't think it's as refined as something like the Golf R is. But you know what? If you're into having that awesome drive, you're probably going to overlook that anyways. You're not getting any of this fancy stuff. There's no blind spot warning, lane departure systems, advanced radar cruise control, none of that. So this is kind of back to basics. So what's it going to cost to get you into one of these things and have that smile, that ear-to-ear smile? In Canada, about $48,000. Sure, that's a lot more than a regular Focus. But like I said, you're essentially almost getting a full-on rally car here. And here's a big bonus. In Canada, woo! This is so much fun. In Canada, for that price, you actually get a full set of winter tires included as well, making this an all-weather car. If you own this car and you have those winter tires, that first sign of snow, you're not going to be able to wait to get into that car and drive it. It's that fun. You know what? You get into this car and, you know, other than having a roll cage and a nice, big, huge e-brake, you have no problem calling out the inner Ken Block or Sebastian OJ and yeah. Woohoo! Oh man. This is too fun. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.